Hey, I'm Ron Drotos from KeyboardImprov.com, and welcome to day 2 of our 31-day Rock Piano for Beginners workout challenge. I'm really excited. Yesterday was great. We learned the first 4 notes of the blues scale. And again, if you're a really more late beginner, early intermediate, or even early advanced, this kind of playing is very good. It can really focus your touch, your listening, if you're just working on a couple of notes at once. So it's really for any level of development. I remember once I read a story. There was a session player in LA, like the best drummer in LA, and one of his friends said, he was at his house and he saw the drum set in the living room. He said, "Show me how you practice." And he thought it was going to be this real fancy stuff. And the guy got it with all 4 limbs. He just went really quietly at a slow quarter note tempo. And that's how he practiced, to warm up and to really acclimate himself to the music and connect yourself with the instrument. That's the goal. Fluency, connecting yourself with the instrument. So we're going to finish learning the entire A blues scale today and just use it a ton, just like I did when I was 15 years old, my rock band, and still do today. So I'm going to set the time for 20 minutes. And let's start by reviewing. So we're going to go pretty quickly here, back and forth. So we're going to start by improvising just on A, the first note of the blues scale. So you got your keyboard, turn up the volume of this video a little louder than your keyboard so that you can hear it really well as you play along and don't get off the beat. And here we go with an A. Any finger you want. You could use first finger or even second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaving some space. Now lots of notes. Okay, 1 down, 3 more to go, then we'll learn new notes. Now we're going to add C. We can do A and C. 1, 2 with the swing beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just keep playing along. Make up your own stuff. Don't copy me unless you want to. Good. Now we're going to add the D. So we have A, C, and D. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to add the E flat. So we have A, C, D, and E flat. I generally use the fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 for these, but when you're moving around, you will see that there's no fingering that you use for the blues scale exclusively. I've never practiced them, and it's to my advantage because it forces me from playing mechanically up and down. Here we go, E flat in addition. So 1, and I'm using like a sort of a shuffle, swing eighth kind of feel here with a sort of rock beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember we did that yesterday? D to E flat. Make that a finger exercise and get a flow going. It's about the fingers, but it's also about this flow with the hand. So practicing in this way, one note and then adding another and working in small groups like that, sort of addresses the two main barriers that most people have when learning new things on piano. One is playing with a sense of flow and rhythm. When we learn too much at once, we're always thinking so much, we have to stop, and it's halting, and we're not letting it flow. And also, we forget it. So, it may seem like we're going slow to some of you. Maybe not. Maybe you're like, oh, wow, okay. Like I was, Oh, that's the blues scale, right? That's like excitement. But at the same time, it's the excitement of being able to use what we know in tempo immediately. And that's what, Muddy Waters did. That's what Paul McCartney did. That's what Elton John did. That's what everybody who really learns that way, in the improv field. All right, so now we're going to learn the next three notes. And we're going to go all the way up to the high A and come down. Actually, the next two notes, because there's only 6. So we're going to start with a high A. You can use your third finger. And then we're going to play a G under it, and then an E. So we have A, G, E. Just try that a few times. Right? That's worth the price of sitting down at the piano by itself. All right? So I'm going to go to like a rock ballad feel. And again, we'll get to these bass lines, and we'll get to some chord progressions another time. But basically, we're just using these 3 notes, but in the same way we did. You could stay on 1, you could use 2, you could use all 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go down here in this octave, or this octave. Trade back and forth. I'll do, say 2 measures, and then you do 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now your turn. Not me. Oh, I forgot. You're 2. 1, 2, 3. I was going to go to 4. And 1. I got so into the motif, I was like, now I'll go. Now your turn. The whole blues scale, and I've written it out in the description under the video, but it's A, to review, play along with me, so it's A, C, D, and then E flat, then E, and then G, and then I did the high A, and you could keep going, right? So it's not just for 1 octave. And if you were going to play it 1 octave up and down, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, on the E flat, and then cross your thumb under and go 1, 2, 3. Just try that a couple of times. It's one of the blues scales that's pretty easy to play a full octave. I don't really like, if I was playing F sharp blues. I don't have a fingering that I use every time. But here's the deal with blues scales, at least the way I look at them. It's better not to practice them as, our scales up and down, because you want to play musically. And by focusing on just a couple of notes in the blues scale at once, or a few notes, that ensures that you're not going to just sort of play up and down. So for instance, this is one group of notes, the A, G, E we just did. Or E flat, D, C, A. That's another one, those four. Or just C, D, E flat, E. Or G, A, C. You could just pick any of these little groups of three, sometimes four, or even two notes. So your solo is automatically going to have these little, what are called motifs, these little melodic cells, these interesting little tidbits that are going to make our playing interesting and keep us interested. So let's experiment with that a little bit. I'll play 4 measures, and then you can just sort of repeat those couple notes in different ways. Let's go a little more faster. A little more faster. Is that even a sentence? 1, 2. I'll start 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you can sort of move from the other, one to the other, but that shouldn't be necessarily the thing we do all the time, because you can hear how good it sounds, and it's easier to just stay with a few notes at once. I still do that all the time to this day, and you can hear people do it. So I want to take you back to when I was 15 years old, and I joined this rock band with my friends. We played a lot of cover tunes, Pink Floyd, remember Comfortably Numb, and I only knew, I think, the A and the D blues scale and E. I knew those 3, I think, for a long time. Born to Be Wild, another one we'll get to probably. We played all these tunes and a little bit of jazz. Some of the people in the band, like their older brothers, were playing jazz guitar at college, and so we'd get a little jazz filtered in, And I started. It was a little strange at first, and then I started really loving it, particularly Pat Metheny's group and people like that. So we came up with one, quote, original composition, and all it was an A minor 7th chord to a B minor 7th chord, just like this. Over and over again for, I think, 20 minutes. And so we had bass, piano, me on keyboard, and drums, right? And I would use the A blues scale. I think I still have a cassette tape of us playing that. I would just use the A blues scale over that. And so each of us would take a solo, and then at one point, this was the funny thing. We didn't know it was funny at the time. At one point, There was no lyric or no melody except the guitarist would walk to the mic at one point and he would sing the words "We Are People," because that was the name of the song, "We Are People." So he'd go, "We are people, yeah," and then that was it. And I still think that's great in a way, right? We made a statement, but the funny thing is, we were on a class trip with our high school to see Evita, the Broadway musical, back in like 1981 or something, 82, and we got stuck in traffic in Times Square, really hot day, unheated bus. And this protester, I don't know what he's protesting, like kind of a hippie kind of guy, comes up with a big sign right at the window we were at. And the sign said, "We are the people." And we flipped out. We said, this is the universe speaking to us, because we have this song, "We Are People." So I'm going to play this. And I'll just do a little improv, then I'll point to you, and then I'll just let you do it after a while. 1, 2, I'll start. The whole lesson here is that it's all about the groove, right? It's all about the flow, right? Groove. Right? If we had an audition as keyboardists with the Rolling Stones, and we played at a groove like that, that's how they play, right? It doesn't have to, most people try to do too much and it doesn't have enough groove or flow. So let's do that again. We'll both solo at once because I want to solo on it. It's bringing back a lot of good memories. 1, 2, here we go. Stop there. Something really cool happened. I normally wouldn't stop, right? I want to explain this. I hit a B by mistake. What happens if you're playing the quote A blues scale and you hit a B by mistake? Is the end of the world gonna happen? Well, who knows, right? Lightning might strike. I hope not. But basically, no. The blues police are not gonna come. The jazz rock police, no. It sounds good. It's just a little jazzy note, right? So, you know, don't sweat it. I just did it and I kind of liked it, actually. Here we go. 1, 2, both together now. Scale on a traditional A blues pattern, but we're just getting the right hand now, right? Tomorrow we'll start the left hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. fun. Let's go fast. Now come back to the groove. One more time. Go ahead, play a little blues scale, and then I'll go. Your turn. Let's see, is my timer done? Yes, the timer is done. Again, 20 minutes flies by like that when you're having fun. So, fluency, flow, play in the groove. Those are the priorities. You'll sound twice as good, 10 times as good. And everything else fits into that as you get more facility and more knowledge about what to play and everything like that. So thanks for being here. I'm having a great time. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, get all the new videos, alerts, click on the picture of me. There's also a playlist where I'm listing all 31 of these videos. Right now, there's only 2. And I've also put a link to another video you may enjoy. And in the description down below, there's a link to some other rock videos that you may enjoy playing at my website, KeyboardImprov. Thanks for being here. Good luck with your playing, and I'll see you tomorrow.